Thanks a lot, Paul. It's great to be here at Resources Rising Stars again, and thanks to Paul, Sharon and Nick for putting on another great event. I'm here to present the new Javelin mineral story, and I say new because we've just a month ago effectively relaunched Javelin as a WA-focused gold explorer, with the cornerstone asset of this strategy being the Coogee Gold Project, which the company acquired in 2020. Here's an image of the Coogee pit, which was taken just over a month ago. The exciting thing about this opportunity is the leverage to the upside that this asset provides us from being an ex-production asset mined by Ramelius back in 2013-14, where they extracted over 20,000 ounces at 4.7 grams. And the exploration potential not only on this mining licence on which the pit sits in the middle of the Kalgoorlie goldfields, but the ELs that surround it as well. A quick background on JAV. It's been around for a while, and over the past 3 or 4 years has been focused on a number of different exploration projects outside of Coogee. I've been a shareholder for that period of time, and when these other projects didn't deliver the results that shareholders expected and wanted, the board and the major shareholders decided at the end of 2023 that it was time for a change, to reset and restructure the company, and I was asked to join the board at the start of this year to conduct a project and corporate review of the company. We've recently completed the 6-month restructure process, and we've been relaunched, as I've said, as a WA-focused gold explorer, with the Coogee Gold Project being the centrepiece of our company. The project provides the company and shareholders with an exciting cornerstone gold asset that's only 55 kilometres southeast of Kalgoorlie. It sits on a granted mining licence with adjacent ELs next to the project, surrounded by key infrastructure and mills with capacity. A new board, which has just recently been completed by the appointment of Andrew Rich to the board. You might have met Andrew here. He's an Executive Director of Bright Star Resources, and is a highly regarded mining engineer and operator of underground high-grade gold mines in WA. So it's great to have Andrew on board to help us advance this project. We've also just announced a new mineral resource of over 120,000 ounces and some high priority drill targets, which we're about to get into during the December quarter. So in summary, we've got a great project. We're ready to get on the ground, and exploration activities about to start in the coming months, and with a new team. A quick corporate overview. Javelin's currently capped at between $10 and $12 million. We'd recently completed a $2 million recapitalisation capital raising, and we've got most of that in the bank as we speak, and that will fund us through the next phase of our exploration. The board's headed by myself. I'm a corporate finance and equity capital markets person, but I've been in and around the resources industry for over 20 years. Recently, I was on the board of Red Dirt Metals that became Delta Lithium, and currently on the board of Ouvre, a small explorer that was spun out of Delta. And he's just joined the board. He has extensive experience as an underground, running underground operations for Westgold, Ramelius, and more recently Linden Gold over the last more than 10 years, and is highly regarded in the industry. And the fact that Andy was interested in joining our board a couple of months ago after just conducting a review of the Coogee Gold Project for us is testament and great validation to the potential for this project for the company and shareholders. Pedro Castellores, he is an exploration geologist, experienced in gold and uranium over 20 odd years. So the three of us complement each other well, and are the new key team to drive the company forward. As I said, the Coogee project is located just 55 kilometres southeast from Kalgoorlie. It sits on a granted mining lease, which from a number of the presentations and discussions you've heard during Resources Rising Star, the permitting issues and approval issues are a big impediment these days in terms of actually getting activity on the ground and getting mining. Fortunately for us, with a mining lease, that all becomes a lot easier. And if we were, for example, to get this project back into production, we could do so in 9 to 12 months. It's not taking years. which is obviously very significant. Mineralisation at the project is high-grade gold in bearing shear zones of up to 8 metres in thickness. Ramelius obviously acquired this project, recognised that, and mined it during 2013-14 and produced 20,000 ounces at over 4.7 grams a tonne. It was milled at the Burbanks mill and had over 96% recoveries. We've just announced a new inferred resource of over 126,000 ounces, just over a gram per tonne. And that, combined with the drill-ready targets that we've got at Coogee, provide us with a great platform and near-term activity to get on the ground and deliver some value add for shareholders by defining some more mineral resources. As part of my job in building this team up from scratch, which Pedro joined me at the start, Andy recently is getting some other highly regarded people around the table in helping us design the exploration program and actually executing on it in a cost-conscious way, which is critical for a company of our size with about $2 million in the bank. And so we've engaged with Peter Langworthy and his OmniGeoX team, who are going to help us design the exploration drilling program and actually execute it. And Peter's here as well. With Gateway and Strickland, but Peter's one of the most highly regarded gold exploration geologists in Western Australia. Also, another sort of key point with respect to Coogee is since Ramelius stopped mining in 2014, there's been no systematic exploration drilling of this project over the last 10 years. Javelin itself acquired Coogee 4 years ago, did some drilling in and around the pit, but really then focused on other things. So from the opportunity it presents for us as a management team and as shareholders, and speaking to you as a material shareholder, and for new shareholders, it's great because of its location, and we've reprocessed the magnetic and geophysical data, and we've got 8 priority drill targets to get into straight away. This gives you a good idea of the location of the project. We have the ML sort of in the, where's this? Oh gosh, I can't see it. The ML there is in the middle of the yellow package of tenements, and it's about 20 kilometres as the crow flies. Daisy Milano's to the northwest, and then the St Ives complex is to the northeast, and St Ives to the southwest, about 20 k's. The drilling program we're planning will get underway by December. We've already got POWs underway, planning approvals, and we're hoping to start by drilling in and around the pit itself to give us some more, hopefully give us some more ounces in the ground and some more certainty on the orientation and the characteristics of the ore body to potentially get that back into production, as well as testing some significant anomalies to the north of the pit. Here's the new leapfrog model of the resource we've just published, which you can see the pit shell there, and there's from this you can see that there's which we want to sort of validate with some further drilling in and around the pit when we start in the next 2 months. But there's some high-grade ore considered to be left directly under the pit and some significant zones to the north of the pit. And also to the north of the pit, we've got an interesting copper resource of over 4,000 tonnes at a low grade, but it gives us encouragement of what else some of the other the mag anomalies could deliver, which are expected to potentially host gold and copper mineralisation. The known mineralisation at Coogee extends for over 1.2 kilometres with an average width of 350 metres and down dip of 220 metres. Mineralisation remains open to the north and with strong potential to the north and northwest of the pit. There's the resource table, just outlines that we have of the 126,000 ounces, 40,000 ounces in indicated and about 85,000 in inferred category at this point in time. The priority gold and copper drill targets along strike at Coogee. We've got two very interesting mag anomalies sitting to the north, which is shown in the red, which is only about 300 metres north of the pit. That anomaly starts at about 300 metres vertical depth and extends down to 750 metres. It's never been drill tested, and a lot of the drilling across the ML and the EL is only relatively shallow. The drilling, mainly done, 90% of it done by Ramelius, only went down to no more than 150 metres, and that's because back in 2013-14, the Aussie dollar gold price was sub $1,500, and economically it didn't make much sense to drill much deeper than that. But obviously, with a gold price of $3,600 an ounce, there's a lot of drivers for us to go and drill test these targets a lot deeper. So there's a lot of substantial exploration opportunities north of the pit and along strike, and also separately to the EL that sits to the west of the mining licence. There's another very interesting and a second strong mag anomaly that we want to drill test as part of this program. A lot of the drilling to date has been very shallow, and that's why a lot of these structures haven't been properly drill tested, including the 1.5 and 3 kilometre targets that have come up through our reprocessing of our mag and geophysics that sit to the western side of that exploration licence. What is Javelin going to focus on over the next 9 months to deliver some near-term value catalysts and results? We're currently also reviewing some other potentially complementary gold projects in the Kalgoorlie area. We plan to commence drilling on the ML during the December quarter. We will also commence EL drilling or some drilling on the EL during the same quarter, with results in Q1, and then the second phase drilling program to follow up once we get those results in the second quarter of 25. So it's about delivering results and more ounces for the company in and around the pit, and potentially some new mineralised lodes through drilling, which is going to start within the next 2 months. Javelin still does have 3 other projects in the portfolio, but they're definitely non-core to us now. There was a lot of ground picked up at Mount Ida for potential lithium exploration. We've rationalised down to a core of 20 exploration licences, but that with the Bonaparte project, which is a silver lead zinc project in the Kimberley, and the PGE project of Husky and Malamute in New South Wales, we're looking to dispose of those to potential buyers currently. So we're totally focused on Kalgoorlie and Coogee, but we are looking at other complementary gold assets in the Kalgoorlie area. So just to wrap up, in terms of an investment proposition of what Coogee and Javelin offers shareholders, very importantly, the Coogee gold project sits on a granted ML, and we provides significant advantages in terms of getting on the ground from an exploration perspective, and also the potential restart of mining within very, very quick timeframes. We're currently a micro market cap company, so therefore at a $10 to $12 million market cap, we have significant leverage to exploration success. And on that exploration success, we are in discussions with a Kalgoorlie drilling company to do a drill for equity program, because we know we don't have a lot of money in the bank, and keeping an eye on those costs is absolutely critical until we get some results. We're about to start drilling. We've got that 126,000 ounce resource, which underpins the company to date. We're assembling a highly respected and knowledgeable exploration and mining team, as I've touched on. And if we're lucky enough to increase the resource and the gold price hangs in there, there's the serious potential for us to generate some material free cash flow from underneath and next to the existing Coogee pit in the near term. So that's it from me. Thank you very much for your time, and thanks again, Paul and Nick, Sharon and the team, for having us here. Thank you.